Good morning, ma'am. Today, we the Group 6 is going to present our HCI project T1 on the web application Amazon Alexa. Amazon Alexa is a virtual assistant developed by Amazon designed to be used as an intelligent personal assistant and smart home control device. It can be used to control a range of smart home devices, play music and podcast, set reminders and alarms, answer questions, provide information and news updates. It is powered by artificial intelligence and natural language processing algorithm which allow it to understand and respond to voice commands given by the user. It is integrated with Amazon's cloud-based voice service which processes the user's request and provides an appropriate response. Now you must be thinking, what is the news of Amazon Alexa app? Because all the idea of doing or creating this virtual assistant was going hands-free. The main purpose of creating this app is in the setting up process. When newly we bring the Amazon Alexa device at our home, the setting up process involves the downloading of this app for linking it to our smart home devices, our already installed music applications like Spotify or Apple Music, or linking it to our shopping apps. There are some advantages and disadvantages of this application, which will be discussed by my teammate.
Now, let us shift our focus on highlighting some positive aspects of this application. The very first positive aspect of this application is that it has shortcuts such as routines, which are present actions that you can trigger with a single command. For example, you can set a routine that turns off all your smart home devices when you say good night to Alexa. Another shortcut such as shopping list, which maintains your shoppings and your to-do list. You can add items to your shopping list using voice commands. The next shortcut, such as alarms and reminders, gives you notification for your lined up tasks. The next advantage is that it has the ability to be utilized in multiple languages such as German, Italian, French, and many more, thus making it beneficial for diverse cultural settings. The next merit is easy calling and messaging options. Since Alexa is voice control device, users can make and receive calls and messages hands-free, which can be beneficial for people having mobility issues. And also, Alexa's messaging and calling options are private and secure, in which users can block contacts and communication feature anytime. The next benefit is that it has filtered contents for kids. It offers stories, educational content such as quizzes, spelling games, and many more. It also avails a system in which parents can block explicit content and adult content, thus making it safe and great experience for kids. The next is it gives you a direct access to your physical device, which refers to the ability of Alexa to control smart home devices directly without the need for any intermediary devices. For example, if you have a smart thermostat that is compatible with Alexa, you can give an instruction, Alexa, set temperature to 20 degrees Celsius, and the signal will be sent to thermostat directly. Thus, this is beneficial because it makes controlling your smart home devices convenient and intuitive, as you don't need to have any separate app and remote control for each device.
Amazon's Alexa is quite a quirky app, and here are the shortcomings that we have listed. First up, here's a video. The user has to go on scrolling on the home page in order to reach the feature that the user desires. This is a cumbersome task when the feature that the user wants lies towards the end of the home page. We also found that the home page is devoid of a scroll to the top button, and in this way, the app fails to follow user-oriented feature of HCI. Next up, we have visibility principle. So we saw the home page. The home page consists of shortcuts and a menu. The menu consists of a phrase and a picture. Phrases like Alexa, open Red Bull skill, or Alexa's inner snowman do not exactly tell what the feature is going to do. And the pictures that are below these phrases are also not self-explanatory. Here's a picture of a man and a girl. It is quite difficult to understand what the feature is going to do. Hence, the user has to go through the entire description of the feature in order to understand its functionality. Hence, the app violates the visibility principle of HCI. Moving on, we found that the app is not versatile. So when our Google or online meets are scheduled, the event gets automatically added on our calendar. But this app maintains a separate calendar and it does not allow adding events from other calendar here. One has to sit down and manually enter every event into the calendar. And lastly, we found that users have to be subscribed to music applications like Spotify or Apple Music in order to play songs on Alexa. Hence, the app fails to cater to diversity.
Let's look at some HCI design principles which are not followed in the existing application of the Alexa. First is the visibility principle, which is not followed by the chat assistant icon, which is present over here. Next is the aesthetic and minimalist design, which is proposed by the Nelson heuristic principle, which is not followed in the activity section. And last is the permit easy reversals of action, which is included in the Stutterman's golden rule, which is not followed in the scrolling view of this application. So let's see how we tried to redesign these features of the Alexa in terms of these three HCI design principles. Let's see the design improvements for the Alexa. On the left hand side, there is actual application, and on the right hand side, there is a proposed design. There are three design issues which don't adhere the HCI principle that we tried to overcome from the actual application. The very first is the activity section. Linear vertical layout has been used. There are various activities like link a music, add an alarm, etc. In each row, only one activity is being displayed, which is not required and is violates the one of the Nelson 10 heuristic principle, that is the aesthetic and minimalist design. To follow this principle, we tried to redesign the activity section so that two activities can be displayed in a single row, which will display the section in a simple and minimalist fashion, as well as it will occupy the less space. So in single view, all the activities will be visible to the user. So next is the icon of the keyboard in the top left corner, which is not self-explanatory, as user will not be able to understand that it is a chat functionality with a virtual assistant. To give some meaning to the functionality, we have changed to the appropriate icon, which self-explains that after clicking on the icon, user can chat with the virtual assistant. So the last design issue we overcome by adding the scroll to top button, which is present over here. So, as before mentioned, after scrolling down to the extreme bottom to find the desired item, it becomes tedious to again scroll to the top. So, here comes the HCI principle of Shadamans that says permits easy reservers of the actions. To work on it, we added the button which will directly scroll to the top. Finally, to design proposed improvements, we have used this wireframing tool called Balsamic, which is open source software.
Thank you, Minal. So this was our presentation, which told us हर बोलने वाली चीज जरूरी नहीं दिखने में भी अच्छी हो. So next time when you say hey Alexa, do remember this 7 minutes of our presentation. Thank you.